Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Natasha, and in today's video we are going to recreate this wonderful cheesy ham and potato scallop recipe. It is pretty much a casserole, but we are going to use only freeze-dried foods. So this is everything that you have in your long-term storage. I wanted to share how I would create this into an actual meal for my family. So everything here, as you can see, is either from Augustin Farms, which you can get on Amazon. They're actually, a lot of the stuff right now is on sale. So I will leave all those links in the description box below. And then the milk powder and stuff is just outside of its container, but I will link everything below that I used. The only other thing that would be a little bit different is the onions. Those are originally from Thrive, but I am not a consultant or anything through them, and I actually found another company that has better pricing for that. So I will link that in the description box below. So first we are going to take our potato slices, and we are going to follow, they have a Reconstitution on the back here. A little bit of a guideline. We're going to kind of go outside of that guideline just because we are going to be using so many of them. I think we used about 5 cups of these potatoes. And so I have some water boiling in the back. Yeah, so it said, you know, a 1/3 cup is how much a serving was. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's not going to be enough to do anything. So yeah, we tossed that idea rather quickly. So this is the first time I'm using these potatoes and reconstituting them like this. So I actually had to open this. I haven't really messed with a lot of my long-term food storage, but I thought this would be an awesome little series to start recreating recipes that you guys can print out and have in case there is a power outage or something like that. You only need hot water to reconstitute everything. And then I did bake mine in the oven, but it's actually not really necessary. You could totally put it over a campfire or over a camp stove and just warm it up that way as well. But everything here is cooked, pre-cooked. So once you reconstitute it, it is fully edible. So you could just have regular cold water, put these ingredients together and kind of like meal in a jar it. So I've got about 5 cups is what we used here to make the base of this beautiful cheesy ham casserole. And this was so good, friends. Like, I seriously was thoroughly impressed at how well everything reconstituted, and there was like none left. Everybody ate it all. So that is 1 cup, and I'm just reminding myself that I used 5 there. Because like I said, there is no recipe. I created this recipe, which will be in the description box below. And I'm showing here that there is, on the side of these number 10 cans, there is where you can write the day that you opened these cans. So that way you know from a year since you opened the can, everything in there should stay shelf stable. So I can use these potato slices anytime within the next year, which they definitely will get used for sure again. So I'm just trying to gauge here the best amount of water for reconstitution. Like I said, there isn't a measurement for what I am doing. The measurements on the back of on the number 10 can are for like smaller quantities. So I think about right at this point, I've added about 2 cups of really hot boiling water. And I also put 1 tablespoon of my minced garlic and 1 tablespoon of the onions into boiling water as well, which are on the side. Next, I'm going to open up some freeze-dried ham. So this is from like January, early January. I had made a ham, and then this was like leftover, and we had already made like sliders and everything else with all the leftovers, and this was just like the pieces that were like left. So I took these and threw them in the freeze dryer. So you could also use cubed ham steak here. Those are pretty cheap actually at the store. think it's $2 or $3 for a whole ham steak, and that would be absolutely plenty for this casserole as well. So the link down in the description box for the ham, what she dehydrates is actually ham steak, like little cubes. So because I'm just using what I have in my long-term storage here. So, and do remember that those Mylar bags can be reused, friends. Don't throw those away. Okay, so we are going to add in, I want to say I added in about 2 cups because I thought that these were gonna absorb a lot more of the water, and they actually didn't, and they were like perfect and delicious. So okay, so next we are going to let that sit. I let these sit. I had an appointment with Cohen, which took about 45 minutes. So these total sat and reconstituted for approximately an hour. So this is what they looked like after about 20 minutes. Right before I left, you can see that they're already starting to get soft. Some of the pieces were a little bit crunchy, so I had Luke stir this a couple times while I was at that appointment just to get the rest of these potatoes down into the water. I totally could have added a little bit more water and done it that way, but you can see the ham is already fully reconstituted. Ham reconstitutes super fast. The onions and the garlic were reconstituted right away. So overall, this process took about an hour to reconstitute everything, and that's just from the potatoes. And you can see there's not much water left in these potatoes, maybe like half a cup. All right, so I'm gonna take my ham and we are just going to have a taste test, make sure that everything is fully reconstituted. It was delicious just like this. Like I said, this could technically be eaten just like this. I mean, there is no health concerns eating it like this, and that is what I love about having fully cooked freeze-dried foods ready. All you need is some water. I'm just gonna cut these into little cubey chunks as best as I can with the world's most dullest knife. These poor things have been just battered all the time. We use these knives every single day, and they are just completely not sharp anymore. Someday we will upgrade our knives, but not right now. We just make do with what we have. So in no particular order, I am just going to run this through in here. And then we will add in our garlic and our onions. This was so much fun for me to be able to recreate this recipe. I definitely plan to do more of these videos, and the full recipe will be on the blog, so www.thebudgetpreppers.com. That will be linked in the description box below, where you can find all of the measurements that I used to recreate this and all of the product links as well. Okay, so now we're gonna pull out our powdered milk, and we are going to mix this with the cheese sauce, and I should have mixed this with the butter as well. You will see later on here, I had forgotten that and then came back and just added it on top. It all tasted just fine, but it probably would have been better mixed in with this sauce. And again, the measurements on the back of these are for like really smaller quantities. So I was kind of adding a little bit of water and kind of guesstimating until I got the perfect consistency for what I was trying to do. I actually really like this cheese powder. If you guys follow macros for eating or lifting or bodybuilding or anything like that, this cheese powder is actually not fat-based. It's actually all carbs, so if anybody's following macros, this can fit in quite nicely without killing your fat intake for the day. what it looks like out of the oven. I baked it for about 25-30 minutes and it turned out perfect. This was so good. This would have been plenty for 4 people. You can see I have 2 big bowls for Luke and little Luke, and then the kids' bowls could have been combined for a bowl, and then I could have had a bowl myself. So there was plenty here for 4 people, 4 servings, 4 big servings. Taste test. I can't have too much of it because it does have dairy and milk products in it, but it smells delicious. It turned out so good. I am so pleased with this. The recipe will be on the blog post for you to go and download and recreate this yourself, and linked below will be all of the freeze-dried foods that we did use. A lot of them are on sale right now, so make sure you go and check those out and print off the recipe card, so just in case you ever want to make this recipe, you can. That is so good. Everything reconstituted really well. Nothing's like crunchy or hard. In fact, this is so good, I'm going for a second bite. And I know I shouldn't, but I love cheesy ham scallop potatoes. They are so good. As you can see, there's some left over. This would make enough for a 4th bowl. If these 2 were combined, so that would be 1. So this is plenty for 4 people. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.